I always like to stay in tune with whether it be followers or viewers or people that continue to come to the video blog. We've had several new countries that have started watching. I just want to say hello to you. I'm so glad that you are here and have found this safe place for you and quite possibly your spouse. Today I want to talk to you about something that's very specific to the betrayed spouse and happens to, I would say, probably at least 70% of all betrayed spouses who attempt to save their relationship. The reality is that this is a very common scenario that happens, and it throws betrayed spouses for a loop. It throws unfaithful spouses who are trying to save their marriage, and they feel like they have started to gain momentum for a loop as well. If you don't understand the struggle behind these emotions and feelings that the betrayed spouse kind of steps into, it can really hamper your recovery. And that's why I want to do this video blog. And here's what I want to speak to. The betrayed spouse, somewhere in the first maybe year to 3 years, maybe even 4 or 5 years, hits this point where things have been going well. There's been some momentum. They've really gotten to the other side of a lot of anger and bitterness and resentment and reminders and triggers, and they feel like they've gained momentum, but then somewhere, usually again between maybe a year and as many as 5 years, they come to this point where they're stuck. It's like they are completely kind of thrown for a loop, like I was doing so well, and they hit this place where it's kind of like renewed anger, maybe some bitterness, resentment. They're dealing with another level of reminders or triggers or intrusive thoughts, and they can't get beyond it. It's kind of like out of nowhere, they feel this pain, this stall. It's like if you've ever driven a stick shift, there's a point where you miss a gear, right? And you lunge and you feel like, man, I thought I was beyond this. I thought I was past this. And then there's the unfaithful spouse, right, who's completely thrown for a loop. He or she is like, whoa, I thought we were doing great. Where is this? This is like out of nowhere. Like, I thought we were beyond this. What's happening now? And then if the unfaithful spouse doesn't understand this, they get into their own cycle of self-hatred, bitterness, resentment, anger, frustration. They can't control their spouse's healing. They thought they were beyond this, and then they start to kind of go, wait, I thought I wasn't going to have to live like this the rest of my life. I thought I was forgiven, and now we're in this kind of cycle, Bermuda Triangle of incredible pain and hurt and chaos. So I really want to give it a run and give you my best attempt to kind of make sense out of this frustration, because I think so many betrayed spouses kind of step into this struggle, and so many unfaithful spouses are completely caught off guard. What's happening is the betrayed spouse is hitting a new level of pain and hurt. That doesn't mean that they have lost or that you have lost all your progress. It actually is a sign that you are progressing. It means that you have kind of conquered and overcome and fully processed that first layer or second or third layer of pain and hurt. And now you've come up against a new level, a new understanding of some deeper pain, some deeper hurt, or some things that you didn't really process at the beginning. Samantha and I had this. Probably at 2 years, there was a point where she was like, whoa, I feel stuck again. I feel these different things. And she wouldn't really talk to me about it, but she was talking to Rick and one of her friends. And when she got to meet with Rick, Rick was able to help her understand, hey, it's not that you haven't progressed. You've progressed wonderfully. You've gained so much ground, but you didn't really know that this pain was there. You didn't really fully confront or even have an awareness of what you were feeling. And now, because you've conquered so many other little mountains, this is a new mountain that you're going to have to face. The good news is, Samantha, because you've conquered all these little mountains, this is not going to be as big as it would have been if you didn't have all the momentum that you have right now. And it really settled Samantha to understand, oh, so I didn't deal with this then, but I'm having to deal with it now, right? And there was this piece where Samantha could kind of go, okay, wait a minute. Number one, this isn't my fault. Number two, I haven't done anything wrong. I haven't put off certain things. I haven't been lazy in my recovery. I haven't just kind of been flippant. I didn't know that this was here, this chamber of my heart with a sense of pain or grief that I didn't really know was there is now here. And the tools that I used this first year and a half, 2 years, I can use now. And it's not going to take me as long as the other pain and hurt took. It's going to be much quicker because I know how to get through this pain. You see, when we hit trauma, we don't process all of it on the front end. Sometimes it affects us so deeply we don't even know how deeply it affects us. And later on down the road, we have to process it, especially something like childhood trauma that happened with me that, man, I'll tell you, it's really been insightful to do some recovery work now for some childhood trauma that I was faced with when I was about 9 or 10 or 11 years old. It's really been quite freeing. But it's the same picture in that as a betrayed spouse, you kind of go, whoa, I thought I was beyond this. No, you just didn't know it was there. And the way out of it is to understand that you're probably facing a new level of forgiveness, a new level of grief, a new level of trauma that you didn't know was there. You see, there came a time where Samantha had to say to me, listen, I need to forgive you for some things that I didn't even know I needed to forgive you a year ago or almost 2 years ago. I need to forgive you for, and she kind of rattled through about 2 or 3 things that were really pretty meaningful to her. Now, to me, as the unfaithful spouse, it rocked me. I was like, oh my gosh, here we go, blah, blah, blah. I was in my own pity. I was in my own kind of 911 emergency of, oh my gosh, no, here we go again. And I thought we were healed, and I was making it about me and being a complete idiot. And once I got some time with Rick, and once I woke up, I was able to go, okay, hold on. I don't need to make this about me. I need to make this about Samantha and helping her feel safe enough to process this new level of anger or hurt or betrayal and help her heal. And I'll tell you, when I got to that comfortable, peaceful, humble place where I could say, well, honey, I'm really sorry that you feel that way. I didn't know that that's what you were feeling, and it makes sense. And I just apologize. I repent. I am so sorry for making you feel this. When Samantha had that moment with me, she was able to experience and extend another level of forgiveness, which then set her free, which then helped me understand a few things. One is, hey, this isn't going to be a quick fix. We did A, B, and C, and D. We're done. We move on. We never have to face it again. I mean, this was 2 years down the road. But it helped me have compassion and say, okay, wait a minute. My choices have affected her and will affect her for quite some time. Number 2 is it helped me actually be more attuned to what she was feeling in that moment so that I could draw near to her, so that I could be with her in her pain. And then number 3, it helped me to help her feel safe so that when this happened again, I didn't have that initial kind of knee-jerk reaction, but I was able to say, well, do you think maybe this is another layer or another level of hurt and pain that you're dealing with? Because it happened again probably closer to 3 years. It wasn't as significant, but there was a moment where we had to work through some things. It took a couple of weeks, but I'll tell you, after that 3-year mark or so, we really didn't have many of those moments. So, betrayed spouse, don't see this as you've lost all your momentum. I thought I was beyond this. No, you're probably tapping into a new layer of needed forgiveness or needed grief. And if you've done the work that you've needed to do up until this point, consider it at some level a promotion because you're going further, because if you didn't do all the work that you have done, you wouldn't get to this point. And so you're able to go, wait a minute, because of all the hard work I've done, yeah, I know it's a pain, I know it frustrates you, but you're actually getting better. You're getting healthier. You're getting beyond the pain because now you're tapping into deeper pain that's going to give you greater freedom. And if you're an unfaithful spouse, don't see this as a negative. I know it's hard, but see this as the fact that they are actually getting better, because if they didn't work through the initial pain, they would have never gotten to this point, and they'll probably get through this little blockage much quicker than they did before because of the work that they've already done.